I was a boy preacher, and I remember the weekend when my father told me that I was not going to school that Monday. He wanted me to go with him to the ministers' conference. A friend of his was in town to preach the ministers' conference in Los Angeles. His name was Dr. C.A.W. Clark. I never will forget that day and the first sermon as a boy that I heard Dr. Clark preach. It was a message to ministers from the book of Ruth, where Naomi testifies that I left full and came back empty. Dr. Clark claimed that this should be the testimony of every preacher. We should go to the pulpit full and come out empty. After hearing that first sermon, I was an instant fan of the preaching ministry of Dr. C.A.W. Clark. And every year when he came to the Paradise Baptist Church to preach a multi-day meeting, it almost became a de facto citywide revival. And I remember piling in there with young preachers who leaned on every word that he said as he dropped pearls of wisdom from the Word of God.
I want you to notice that about Jesus Christ. He is an again person. He who came comes. Yes, he doesn't just make one trip and then he's through with you. He comes again and again and again. Yeah.
Dr. Clark was a national revivalist, conference speaker, and denominational leader. He was a friend of preachers. Dr. Clark is remembered for his distinctive preaching style. He was a man short in stature, but he was a giant in the pulpit. He began every message the same way. He would stand in the pulpit and say, "And all the people said amen." And in this slow, quiet beginning, if you never heard Dr. Clark before, you'd wonder what is going to become of this sermon. But as this lion in the pulpit got going, it's as if you would literally watch his strength grow in the pulpit.
Whosoever will, let him come. Jesus said, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest."
And God forbid that he would step back and in that close pull down from heaven as if grabbing more power from the Lord's mighty throne. And by the time he finished the sermon and did his signature gargle as he closed the message, there would be times I literally saw people trying to get to the pulpit to stop him. This is just one, I'm sure, of many testimonies from around the country of preachers whose lives and ministries have been influenced by this great man of God. A man from humble beginnings, but God raised up as a mighty preaching voice. And for 5 decades, he served the Good Street Baptist Church in Dallas, Texas. C.A.W. Clark was a preacher whose life was obviously marked by the hand of God. He is a great model for a new generation of preachers to study and remember and honor. Thank God for Dr. C.A.W. Clark.
That's what John Wesley must have had, John Newton must have had in mind when he said, "Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved." That saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious, how precious did that The hour I first believed. Too many dangers. Too many dangers.